Hey everybody, it's Chad here from Action FC and Sculpted by Brant. I'm making this video for some of my students, some of my clients, and some of you out there that are, wanting to get started, or you could be doing macros right now. It's all on nutrition, but really how to kind of analyze what you're doing now and how you can improve that right away, just to see this little mini benefit to this. It's like an assessment of what you're doing right now. Literally, it's all it really is. You don't have to track your macros. You don't have to do anything. You just have to write down everything you're going to eat in the day and make it like your routine, like what you do every day. So an example would be just a regular day for someone who wakes up in the morning late, goes to Tim Hortons, grabs a bagel, okay, slaps some jam on there. They order a coffee, double double, so double cream, double sugar. All right. I just want you to write down that. Be that specific in what you're saying. Okay. Then say your next meal doesn't come till 2 or 3 hours later, close to lunchtime or wherever break you get, and you go to the store and you get yourself really like maybe a wrap or something like that. And what's inside the wrap? So say the wrap is just this white tortilla. Inside is what? It could be, those ham slices you buy that they put in there. You know how they make in the grocery store and you can just buy them off the shelf. Then they put some lettuce in there, maybe some mayonnaise or whatever. Write it all down. Write it all down. And say after that, midday you want a snack, you eat some fancy protein bar. Okay. Then you go home for dinner. Then you have your dinner. You're super stressed from work, I guess. This is just in a scenario for you. And you just cook some pasta or whatever. Or maybe you just go home, like some of you guys, I used to do this, and have this massive bowl of cereal. So maybe some kids' cereal, you put some milk in there or whatever you put in there, and then maybe you had some protein powder in a cup. Write it all down. You're going to need to write it all down. Because what I want you to do is, after it's all down, make sure you leave a little space behind each to put these letters by. And the letters you're going to use are HP, that is highly processed. So what's highly processed? The best tip I can give you is when you're looking at the food and it's in a package and you have a list of ingredients for that one little thing of food, that's heavily processed. Okay, or something that's super enriched. It says that's like the first word, enriched wheat flour or something like this is heavily processed stuff. I'm not saying processed stuff is bad. You guys know me by now. I'm a flexible eater, flexible. I preach it if it fits your macros, but I also preach 80-20. So 80% of your day is that Mother Earth food, the stuff that grows on the earth. It's as is. You see it, you cook it. Cooking is processing, you guys. Like it is. And it also helps, break down the bacteria. And it helps you process it more in your body to assimilate it. So cooking is a type of processing. So processing is not all bad. I am not saying that. This whole video is about seeing what you eat in a day. How can you make that better and see results without counting your macros yet, without doing all this stuff? Because you want your digestion really well, and you want to assimilate your food and the nutrients and the micronutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, everything. You want all that in your food. So if you're eating, as you'll see at the end of your test, highly processed or everything's processed. So you're seeing HP, highly processed, okay? MP is moderately processed. You can get away with all that. I mean, whey protein powder is moderately to highly processed. What it has to do to go through to get rid of the casein, get rid of everything, the lactose, just to get the whey. It's very heavily processed, but it also has a big score on the bioavailability of the protein, how good the quality of the protein is. So it's way up there. But you don't want to be whey protein to be the biggest protein of your day. You want a meat source. You want your Mother Earth stuff. So there you have the highly processed, your moderately processed. So that's the smaller list of ingredients, right? So that would be like your condiments and stuff like that. Milk and dairy is moderately processed, so any of the dairy things is in there. I'm not saying it's bad. It kind of goes in the good quality of Mother Earth stuff. Then you have your whole food, okay? So that's the last one, whole food, WF. So you have HP, highly processed, then moderately processed, okay? And then you have your whole food, WF. So on everything you eat in the day, you write down HP if it's super processed stuff. Okay, that would be the bagel in this instance, and the jam would be moderately processed to highly processed based on the ingredient list on how it was altered. The wrap is highly processed. Okay, and then you have your mayonnaise. So at the end of the day, say you had some eggs that day. Eggs whole, so you got whole food. Say you had some meat, whole food. Okay, say you had some yams. You're like, damn, I made some yams today. I'm going to cook these yams. Or maybe you had some beans, some legumes, some fibrous green leafy veggies. You had some broccoli, you had some cauliflower. I want you to add it all up because when I did this way back in the day, I read it was, I believe, one of Alan Argonne's books way back in the day about, how to calculate your food and stuff. This was ages ago. I'm making myself ancient, but I read this a long time ago when I was first starting in the industry, and he was nailing macros like crazy. Him and Diet Doc. I was reading these guys' stuff all the time. So at the end of the day, you're going to add all this up. Now, if you score high in the highly processed, so say you ate 10 foods that day. I'm just using this as an example. And 7 of those are highly processed. You got to make some changes, bro. If you have 7 foods that are highly processed out of your 10, just make the switch. Because now you have like that almost an 80-20. You have high processed foods as your 80% intake, and then your quality is down here. I'm not saying these are super bad for you, but too much can mess with your digestion, your assimilation, and getting your goals. So now if you take the highly processed and you move them into moderately processed, just make the little switch, or you go into the whole foods. Now you're going to boost your 80% good whole food, moderately processed foods, right? So what are some whole foods? I already said those: meat, eggs, fish, right? Beans, legumes, cauliflower, all your veggies, asparagus, artichokes, all this stuff. Okay, in Alan's book, he talks about, he goes 80% quality, 10% it's quality, but it's the stuff you really don't like. Like some people don't like artichoke hearts, or some people might not like avocado or stuff like that. You're to try it because you might find something in there that you might like. Okay? And then the other 10%, anything you want. Flexible. And that's what I'm talking about, you guys. When I say 80-20, I want, I can use this arm. 80% up here. Okay? Whole food, moderately processed. This should be your highest number, so you need to make those changes. So if you're going to Timmy Hortons in the morning and you're getting your double, just keep the cream in there. The cream is the moderately processed. That works for you. Take the sugar out. You've just improved that stinking meal. When you're getting your bagel, if you get your bagel, maybe eat an egg with that bagel, and don't use the jam. Maybe put butter on there. Again, if you're getting the nasty stuff like the hydrogenated butter or nasty, read the label. If it's got all this stuff in it, it's not moderately, it's high. If the list is small, it's moderate. Okay, that's the easiest way to get you guys started. This isn't a macro thing. This is just getting your daily intake more on the 80% side, the good side. Okay, so let's say you went into your dinner, then you had your kids' cereal. Okay, you read the label on that stuff. I love flexible eating. If that's part of you, if you left that alone and you made the beginning part of your day 80% kick ass, and that's your last meal of the day, damn, have the cereal. It works, right? You got to make the 80-20 work. So if you want to improve the first 2 to 3 meals and make those 80%, your 20%, your last meal of the night, that's when you enter the flexible food. So write down, do the list. You'll see when I first did mine, it was highly processed, highly processed, moderately processed. I didn't have a whole food on there. I barely ate vegetables way back in the day. The protein source I was really eating was just eggs and chicken, reading all those old school Flex magazines and whatnot. I mean, it was just that. I mean, I was eating a ton of white rice and chicken thinking I was going to get jacked, and I just got chubby. So when I made these changes and I just made that realization of, okay, if I make this little switch, man, I started dropping inches like crazy. I mean, I didn't look at the scale. I didn't even think I owned a scale back then. I just focused on how I felt, how my clothes felt, how I was, performing in the gym, and I just felt better overall. It's because I made that 80% change. I made 80% of my day kick-ass quality foods, man. The 20%, yeah, I always tell these guys I love to eat flexible food. I mean, who doesn't want to make these froyo bowls, eat some chocolate, have some chips, have some kids cereal, enjoy life, right? Who doesn't want to have? Some people like to have their glasses of wine or have a beer. Those are all part of the flexible style, that 20% of your day. So you can still have a solid day. You just got to clean it up. So you have more whole food, WF. More of those. That is the majority, and the moderately processed. I would love to see whole food as all your veggies and all your protein. Moderately processed would be like adding cheese or mayonnaise or ketchup, or having a high fiber wrap or a high fiber bread or sprouted grain bread. I'm not dissing on processed food. I've already talked about that. That's what I want to do for you guys. You'll make this small little change, and you're going to start having more energy in the gym, more energy in your day, waking up earlier with more vigor. You're going to lose inches. You're going to assimilate food better. Going to the bathroom is going to be better because your digestion is going to be better, because fiber is going to be up because you're having more whole food. Right? Fiber is key. Fiber is going to help you assimilate food better, the transient getting out of your body at the right time, and sorry, the bathroom word, the right consistency, right? That shows good quality digestion. When you do that, you're assimilating all your nutrients, man, and you got good quality digestion. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it here. Do the test. Write down all what you do in a day, and then write down HP, highly processed, MP, moderately processed, which is, it's a good one, but your highest number should be WF. Medium number, just below that, would be moderate. And the highly processed, that's just last. That's the 20%er, right? That's your flexible foods. Okay? Guys, check it out. If you like this little video, I get to ramble on, just press like. If you guys got questions, you can always leave a comment or DM me, man. All right? Try it out. Worked for me, and it's worked for so many of my clients and my students. Okay? Peace.